Good morning, students. So this is the last lecture of semester 5th, that is lecture number 64th of electronics. And our last topic of discussion is classification of various transistor amplifiers. So as we have discussed and derived all the parameters of a transistor amplifier in common emitter mode, in the same way we can derive the parameters of transistor amplifier in common base mode and common collector mode. So in this lecture we will discuss the classification of amplifiers, and they are classified according to their use, according to their operation, and according to the frequency range of operation, and according to interstage coupling. So there are 4 types of classification of transistor amplifier. So we will study one by one. So first is classification of transistor amplifiers according to their use. And according to their use, they are divided into 2 categories. First one is voltage amplifiers and second one are power amplifiers. So what are voltage amplifiers? These are those transistor amplifiers in which the magnitude of output voltage, it is greater than the input voltage. It means voltage amplification. Voltage amplification means voltage will increase. So in this case, the magnitude of output voltage, it is always greater than the input voltage. So gain, voltage gain, it is denoted by AV, and we know that it is always the ratio of output voltage to the input voltage, and we know that what will be the expression for output voltage? It will be output current into load resistance, that is RC or RL, divided by input voltage. It will be the product of input current and input resistance, and we know that this ratio of output current to the input current, it is the current gain beta in common emitter mode. So this voltage gain AV, it will be equal to beta times RC by R in, or RL by R input. So it means to use any transistor as a voltage amplifier, this voltage gain, it must be high, and to have a high voltage gain, the transistor, it must have high beta value, high value of output impedance, and low value of input impedance. So to use any transistor as a voltage amplifier, it should have high beta value. For high beta value, we need to have thin base of transistor, and to have high voltage gain, we should have, or transistor should have, high value of output impedance, or you can say that load resistance, and low value of input impedance, that is R input. And now we'll discuss power amplifiers. So power amplifiers are mainly used to increase the current and hence power, and their main purpose is to supply power to the output circuit. So these power amplifiers, they can handle large value of currents. So that is why to handle large currents, these must have low value of beta. These should have, power amplifiers, these should have low value of beta, or you can say that thick base region of a transistor. And to dissipate heat produced during its operation, it should have large size. So what are the differences between, or comparison between, voltage amplifier and power amplifier? These are some points. First point is, voltage amplifier is used to increase the input voltage, and power amplifier is used to increase the current and power. And in case of voltage amplifier, the transistor, it should have high value of beta, but in case of power amplifier, the transistor should have low value of beta. And in case of voltage amplifier, transistor should have high output impedance, but here it should have low output impedance. And in case of voltage amplifier, the transistor should have low input impedance, but here it should have high input impedance. And in case of voltage amplifier, the transistor should have low input voltage, low value of output current and output power. And in case of power amplifier, the transistor should have high input voltage, high value of collector current, that is output current, and high value of output power. So this was all about the classification of transistor amplifier according to their use. Now we'll discuss next classification of transistor amplifier, that is according to their operation. According to the operation means according to the selection of the Q point, that on the load line, what is the location of the Q point? Depending upon that, these transistor amplifiers, they can be divided into 4 categories according to their operation, or you can say that according to the location of Q point on the load line. And according to the operation or according to the location of Q point on the load line, these are divided into 4 categories, 4 classes. First class is class A power amplifiers, class B power amplifiers, class AB power amplifiers, and class C power amplifiers. So we'll discuss all these classes one by one. First is class A amplifier. So this is the characteristic curve, load line curve of class A amplifier. And as you can see, this is the load line. And in case of class A amplifier, the Q point, it lies at the center of the load line. So because of this position of the Q point, this is the input signal, and we know that the input signal, it is out of phase with the output signal in case of common emitter mode. So that is why the two, they are in 180 degree phase difference or 180 degree out of phase with the input signal. But because of this position of the Q point, you can see the output signal or the output current, it flows for the entire cycle of input signal. It means collector current will remain greater than 0 at all the times of the input signal in case of class A amplifiers. And this output signal, the shape of this output signal in case of class A amplifier, it is an exact replica of this input signal. And the only difference is that the two are out of phase with each other. The phase difference between the two is 180 degree. So this is all about class A amplifiers. Here is the theory of class A amplifiers. I have already told you that in case of class A amplifiers, the output current, it flows for the whole cycle of the input signal. So the wave shape of the output signal, it is an exact replica of the input signal. And what is the position of Q point in this case? It is placed near the center of the load line, and biasing is proper such that the collector current, it remains 0, greater than 0 at all the times of the input signal. Now next comes class B amplifiers. Now see, in case of class B amplifiers, what is the position of Q point on the load line? Means in case of class A amplifier, the transistor, it works in the active region because the Q point, it lies near the middle of the load line. But in case of class B amplifier, the Q point, it lies on the x-axis. It means the Q point, here we have cutoff region. It means in this case, the Q point of the transistor, it lies at the cutoff value. So what will happen? This is the input signal. So only this portion, because this is below cutoff region. This region, it is below cutoff region. So that is why this portion, it will be cut off. This portion of input signal, it will be cut off in the output side. So only this portion, this and this, corresponding to this portion of the input signal, we have output. So in this case, the output signal, it is not an exact replica of the input signal. And the collector current, it flows only for the one half of the input cycle. And then for the next half of the input cycle, collector current is 0. Then again for the second half, for this half, we have the collector current for one half of the input cycle. And again for this half, the collector current is 0. So here the collector current, it flows only for one half of the input signal and it is 0 for the other half of the input signal. So that is why the output signal, it is not an exact replica. So this is all about the theory of class B amplifiers. I have already told you. Now the third class according to the operation is class AB amplifiers. And class AB amplifiers, it is the intermediate of class A amplifier and class B amplifier. As you can see here, what is the position of the Q point on the load line? In case of class A amplifier, this Q point, it was lying near the middle of the load line. And in case of class B amplifier, this Q point, it was lying at the cutoff on the x-axis. It means in this case, the Q point, it lies between the Q point of class A amplifier and the Q point of class B amplifier. But it lies near the cutoff region. So because of that, now you can see this portion, it is below cutoff. So there will be no current, no output current or no output signal corresponding to this portion. So you can see corresponding to this portion which lies above cutoff, we have output signal, and similarly corresponding to this portion, again we have output signal. So this one is one half of the output cycle, input signal. This is one half of the input signal and this one is the other half of the input signal. And output current, it flows for this to this. It means the output current, it flows for more than one half cycle of input signal. From this to this, we have one half cycle. But in this case, because the Q point, it is above cutoff but near the cutoff. So because of that, the collector current or the output current will flow for the time period more than the half cycle of input signal. And less than the entire cycle of input signal. So this is all about class AB amplifiers. And the last one is class C amplifiers. In case of class C amplifiers, the Q point, it lies, operating point or the Q point, it lies below cutoff. It lies here. So what will happen in this case? This is one half of the input signal. Because it lies below cutoff, so it will not appear in the output side. But as the Q point, it lies below cutoff, it means this portion, it will also not appear in the output side. So the output signal or the output current, it will flow for the time period which is less than the 1/2 cycle, because from this point to this point we have 1/2 cycle. But output current, it flows only from this point to this point corresponding to this input signal. It means the output signal, this output signal or this output current, it will flow only for the time less than 1/2 cycle of the input signal. So what will happen in this case? This type of amplifier, it causes severe distortion in the input signal, because in this case the output current, it flows for less than the 1/2 cycle of input signal, and Q point in this case, it lies below the cutoff. Then next one is the classification of transistor amplifiers according to the frequency range. And according to the frequency range of operation, these transistor amplifiers, they can be divided into 3 classes. First class is AF amplifiers, stands for audio frequency amplifiers. Second one are RF amplifiers, means radio frequency amplifiers, and third one are VF amplifiers, means video frequency amplifiers. So audio frequency amplifiers, they are used to amplify the signals having range 20 Hz to 20 kHz, having frequency range from 20 Hz to 20 kHz. 20 kHz means 20,000 Hz. Then radio frequency amplifiers, they are used to amplify the signals having frequency lying between 16 kHz to several megahertz. And the video frequency amplifiers, they are used to amplify the AC signals having frequency lying between 50 Hz to several megahertz. So this is the classification of transistor amplifiers based upon the frequency range. And the last classification of transistor amplifier according to the interstage coupling. Now this interstage coupling, it is used when we have to design the circuit with a large gain. And at that time we have various amplifiers which are connected to one another in such a way that output of one amplifier, it is connected to the input of next amplifier, but with the help of some coupling network. And that coupling network, it can be RC circuit, it can be LC circuit, it can be transformer, it can be any DC circuit. So that is why, depending upon the type of the coupling network, these transistor amplifiers, they are divided into 4 classes. First one is RC coupled amplifiers. R stands for resistance, C stands for capacitance. Second one are LC coupled amplifiers. If you use LC circuit for the coupling of 2 amplifiers. And next one is transformation coupled amplifiers, if you use transformer. And next one is if you connect it direct, output of one amplifier, it is connected directly to the input of the next amplifier, then those are known as direct coupled amplifiers. So this is all about the classification of amplifiers, and this is all about our syllabus of 5th sem.